Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So as we have discussed in the previous video regarding the matched or the paired samples, today we are going to see one question regarding this particular topic, right? So the question which I had actually taken out here, it says that a study was conducted to investigate the effectiveness of that is hypnotism in reducing pain. Okay, results for randomly selected subjects are shown in the table. This table which you are actually able to see out here, this is the table which it is actually talking about. After that are shown in the table. After that, the before value is matched to an after value and the differences are calculated. The differences have out a normal distribution. So the problem is that basically are the sensory measurements on average lower after hypnotism or basically test at a 5% significance level. Fine. So this is the question which we need to solve out here. Basically, first of all, I just hope that testing out at a 5% significance level, you must be able to do now this thing onto your own, because really we had done a lot of things regarding testing out a person a significance level, right? We had seen some things regarding the 1% significance, and even once we had just done out this 5% significance as well, right? Okay, so let's get started and solve out this particular question. So what I would just do here is that I would be writing out the particular things. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, right here. So fine. And okay, what I am giving this table. Fine. So first of all, what I'll be doing is that I would be calculating out the difference. So how we calculate the difference? I already mentioned that it is a data. So difference is basically calculated regarding the first of all after minus before. So after minus before. From this particular thing, we calculate out the difference. So I would just write difference is equal to after minus before. Okay, let me take out a color from here so that we can start writing the other things. And let me now make out a box as well. First of all, let me move down. Yeah, because this much space you'll be needing for making out the table, because yeah, table is a little bit large, right? So like this, the table could actually be made out. Yes, this is absolutely okay. After that, we could just divide this thing into the three parts, because first one would actually be having the upper, before, after, and the difference as well, right? Now let me just again took out some one another line from here, and okay, just 1 second. Draw, and here comes the line, and okay, why it is not getting selected right here? Fine. So let's come down again. Okay, just give me 1 second. This I would just remove this out, and again take out a line from here, and find just 1 second. Come down now. So this line would be made up till this particular place. Okay, now let's get started with the things. So first of all, we'll be writing all the after values, then we'll be writing out the before, and then at last we'll be writing out the difference. So this one is for the after, this one is for the before, and this one is basically for the difference. Okay, so let's see that for the after values. See, after is this down one, not the above one. Okay, 6.8, 2.4, 7.4. So 6.8, 2.4, 7.4, and 7.4. Then we have 8.5, 8.1, 6.1. Then we have 8.5. We have 8.1. Then we have then we had 6.1. And above we are having 3.4 and 2.0. So here goes the 3.4 and 2.0. Great. What about the before thing? So 6.6, 6.5, 9.0, 10.3. Okay, so here we are having 6.6, 6.5, 9. Then we have 10.3. Okay, after that what we are having 11.3, 8.1, 6.3, 10.6. Okay, we are having 11.3. Then we are having 8.1. We had 6.3 and we had 11.6. Now the difference which we had talked about into the previous video as well, that difference would actually be calculated after the subtraction of both of these things. Okay, as soon as you subtract after from before, the difference would be out here. So here it is 0.2, then we have minus 4.1. Okay, let me write out minus clearly actually. It's minus 4.1. Then we are having minus 1.6, minus 1.8. Let me come down, yes. Then we are having minus 3.2, minus 2, minus 2.9, and at last we are having minus 9.6. Okay, so these are the differences which actually I am having here. Right, so my table is now actually made out. After this, what we do, we basically take out the data for the differences. Separately, we just take that out. So I would just write here that the data test for the test are the differences. Okay, so the data that we'll be taking out for the test will be the differences that we had calculated out. So that was 0.2 minus 4.1, 4.1, 1.6, 1.8, 3.22. Okay, then after that it was basically minus 1.6, minus 1.8, minus 3.2, minus 2, and we are left with two more things, minus 2.9 and 9.6. Okay, that is minus 2.9 comma minus 9.6. Yes. So these are the, like, now this is the data for the test, and these are the differences that will be like finding out the data, and this is the data on which we'll be performing out the test. Okay, find out the sample mean. So the sample mean yes, what is the sample mean for the difference? The sample mean of the difference. What is the sample mean of the difference? So that is actually, it is represented by x bar d, and it would actually, you can calculate, and it would come as 3.13. Okay, and what about the standard deviation? So the standard deviation of the, let me now come down, the standard deviation of the differences, that is basically is represented by SD, and that is 2.91. You can just verify out these values onto your own, right? So when we yesterday we had discussed about, like in the last video we had discussed about the question, so that was x bar d minus mu d upon st upon under root of n. So yeah, these say all the values I had just found out for today's question, right? So this is the one which we had actually find it out. After this, what about the mu d? Let me just write out something. So let mu d be the population mean for the differences. So let that mu d be the population mean for the differences. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be using the subscript, that is d, for denoting out the differences. So let me write out that we use the subscript. We use the subscript small d, that is small d, to denote the differences, right? So we will be using our subscript d, that is basically for denoting out the differences. After this, we are now having out the random variable, that just put out the hypothesis test and apply out all of the things. So let's do that particular thing. I would write capital X bar d, that is equal to, I just say that random variable, let's say, and this is the, let it denote the, okay, that is not the main, that is the mean. Okay, so the main difference of the sensory measurements Okay, yes, so this is the idea for the measurement. So here we have h naught is basically mu d, and that is greater than equal to 0. Right, so basically after that, mu d, basically what is that? That is the population mean of the differences. So if there is no improvement, so we can apply one more thing, that h naught is basically mu d is less than 0. Right, this is the also one thing. that we can apply out, right? The score should be lower than the hypothesis, right? That we are like actually is in the question. So the score should be less than that, and the differences as well should be negative to indicate out the improvement, right? These are the conditions which actually apply out. Now we will be using out the distribution for the test, right? So what I would be doing here is that I would be just coming down and just writing out the thing here, that is the differences. No, sorry, that is not the difference, that is the distribution. Okay, that is the distribution for the test. Okay, the distribution for the test. So you can just find out that distribution for the test. You can just denote that df, and you can just write at n minus 1. So that would be 8 minus 1, and which is equal to 7. So now how did I found out the 8? So just have a look over this table which was given out at this particular place. So results are randomly selected showing that the before matched. Okay, so basically here are total 8 points. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, so from there I just got to know regarding that this basically the value for n is actually 8, right? So after this, basically now we are left with calculating out the p-value, plotting out the graph, and then finding out the sample mean and the standard deviation, comparing out the p-value alpha, and making out a decision and then conclusion. So these are some of the things which we are actually doing in the previous questions as well. So I would just give you some time to solve out these questions, this further things onto your own. Just take the help from the previous videos which you had already watched, and made out the things for. So there basically you could just find out the things, and from there with the help of that you could just figure out the rest of the things which are left. Otherwise we'll be covering that into the next video, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.